Welcome to the Grounded Woo Woo. Hey, it's Michelle Victoria. I hope you've enjoyed the last 3 podcasts. On the last one, we talked about the body and is it sending you messages. And if you go to my Instagram account, the Grounded Woo Woo, there's a post referencing that podcast, and you can leave comments or ask questions about my experience, what other things I did. It could have been so long. There was so much I didn't cover in that episode. But, I had so many extensive tests and whatnot as well, thyroid, you name it, hormones. There's a lot of things that I explored, but I hope you enjoyed the episode. This week is kind of piggybacking on my first episode because I had a discussion with my only child, my son, and he's helping me put the intro, outro music on my podcast, and because he's just really talented in this area. So he's like, the predominant message I have from my childhood was from you, and the word is choice. And it really took me back because I did everything. It was like my favorite word. It's your choice. Here, there's 3 outfits. I laid out 3 outfits for you today when he was real little. It's your choice. I don't want to wear a raincoat because I don't feel like it. Okay, it's your choice, but if you don't, you're choosing to get wet, maybe be uncomfortable. Is that your choice? So that was how I parented him his entire life. Everything was a choice because everything is a choice in life. Which leads me to what I want to talk about today, which is a remarkable woman, soul, just earth angel, I call her, that I was exposed to her teachings 2016, 17, I guess, first time. Dr. Edith Eva Eger, and she's a Holocaust survivor and a psychologist and just a remarkable human being. She wrote the book, The Choice. So when I found her and then, the book's titled The Choice, obviously I jumped because everything is a choice, and that's what I believe. I'm not saying I always made the right choices, but when you reflect on everything that's going on in your life, it comes down to the choices you make, right? So in her book, first I want to say about her, what really touched me is the woman has endured more than most of us souls here will ever endure. And yet, when she counsels her patients, she has the most compassion, and it kind of makes me teary, that I've ever seen. Like, she can relate. Yeah, she acknowledges the pain of everybody she counsels and doesn't measure it according to her level, because clearly she's been through more than most people with what she endured, and losing her parents and being murdered by the Nazis. So the woman has been through it. You have to read the book, The Choice. It's wonderful. But here are some big takeaways that I wanted to talk about that really hit me back when I read the book. The first one is, will you pay attention to what you lost, or let me start over. Will you pay attention to what you lost, or see what is still here? That's hard, right? That's hard. A few months ago, I lost my best friend to cancer, and then a couple weeks later lost an important work contract. And I had a couple big deals in the works, and I was counting on that income, and it was gone. So it was easy for me during that time to think about what I've lost, right? My best friend, oh my gosh, I'll never see her again. She died too young. She left 3 beautiful children behind. Oh my gosh, my livelihood. But what's still here? Well, my beautiful son, my beautiful parents, other family, other dear friends, co-workers, just so many. I'm so blessed in so many ways. You know, not to say I always stay in that mode. I'm human, but that's a big one. Another one from her. Dependency breeds depression. So being dependent on anything breeds depression. We really do need to be living an autonomous life. And that doesn't mean being alone. It just means, having our own identity and it not hinging on anybody else. And I've been dependent on relationships before in my life. So I that one really hit home. And then she says, what do you want? You have to be willing to give up the need for everyone's acceptance and approval. So that's going to mean something different to everybody. Yeah, not everybody's going to approve of my new venture into the divination arts and astrology, and that's okay. There's not ever going to be a time when everybody accepts what you're doing or likes what you're doing, and most of us see that and are mature enough to say, who's meant for you will be there, right? And who's not will not be. So those are just a few of my favorite quotes from her. And then another big one, I wrote it down on a different page. When did your childhood end? You had your Auschwitz and I had mine. Suffering is the same. That is so profound. That makes me teary. When did your childhood end? You had your own Auschwitz and I had mine. Suffering is the same. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of this podcast. How just amazing she is. It's just so heartfelt to know that suffering, even though we weren't tormented and tortured and have our families murdered by the Nazis. Whatever suffering we've endured is suffering, right? There are no two realities that are alike. I think Eckhart Tolle said that. There's so many realities going on at the same time. It's never just yours. So everybody's having their own experience. So that's it for this week. Check her out, Dr. Eger. She's on Instagram. You can find her talks all over the internet. What a remarkable soul, truly. What a blessing to humanity. I just love her and everything she represents. All right, have a great week.